Hello learners. Since alpha comma beta are the roots of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, which is given in the question, comma, alpha plus beta would be equal to minus b by a, and alpha beta would be equal to c by a. Okay, this would be the first step, like identifying what is given and deriving some result from it. Now we need to find out a quadratic equation whose roots are alpha square plus beta square and alpha power minus 2 plus beta power minus 2. I'm going to take alpha square plus beta square as x1. Let x1 is equal to alpha square plus beta square, and x2 is equal to alpha power minus 2 plus beta power minus 2. Okay, there is a law from exponents that a power minus n is equal to 1 by a power n. So alpha power minus 2 is nothing but 1 by alpha square, and beta power minus 2 is nothing but 1 by beta square. So if I'll take LCM, here beta square is not there. So if I multiply and divide by beta square, I would get beta square by alpha square beta square, plus here alpha square is not there. So if I multiply and divide by alpha square, I would get alpha square by alpha square beta square. Now since the denominators are equal, I can perform operation on the numerator. I get alpha square plus beta square by alpha square beta square. Fine. Now so we need to find out the quadratic equation whose roots are x1 and x2. Okay, I wrote it as x square, sorry, it is actually x2 actually. Okay, now we need to find out a quadratic equation whose roots are x1 and x2. The quadratic equation whose roots are x1 and x2 will be the quadratic equation whose roots are x1 and x2 is x square minus x into x1 plus x2 plus x1 x2 is equal to 0. Just as when alpha beta were the roots, we had the quadratic equation as x square minus x into alpha plus beta plus alpha beta is equal to 0. So in place of alpha beta we have x1 and x2. So it's quite clear, we just need to find out x1 plus x2 and x1 x2 and our job is done. So let's get started. But before that, you see there are a lot of squares here. Okay, fine, let me go in order, otherwise you guys can get confused. So I need to find out x1 plus x2. x1 is alpha square plus beta square, and x2 is alpha square plus beta square by alpha square beta square. Okay, here we got them, right? Here we got it, x1 and x2. So now from here, what I'm going to do is, if you'll observe in these two terms, I can take x alpha square plus beta square as common. So I'd get alpha square plus beta square. So since I took alpha square plus beta square common, in the first term just 1 would be left out, and in the second term 1 by alpha square beta square would be left out. Now there is another law from exponents which states that a power m b power m is nothing but ab whole power m. So alpha square beta square, I can write it as alpha beta whole square, alpha into beta whole square. So this would be nothing but alpha square plus beta square into 1 plus 1 by alpha beta whole square. Okay, why I wrote like this is because I know alpha beta is c by a. This I already know. Now I need to find out alpha square plus beta square. Okay. Till here, this part I'm going to take it as, 1, whatever I got till then. You guys can write it vertically. It would be good, or no, due to lack of space, I'm just writing like this, or by the way I started. Okay. So now let's find out alpha square plus beta square. We know that alpha plus beta is minus b by a. That was the initial condition which we got. Now, if I square on both sides, I would get alpha plus beta whole square is nothing but equal to minus b by a whole square. So on the left hand side, if I'll use a plus b whole square formula, I'll get alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta is nothing but equal to b square by a square. Now alpha square plus beta square. See, alpha beta is nothing but, c by a. So I'm going to bring it here. Plus 2 c by a is equal to b square by a square. Now I'm going to take this 2c by a to the other side. I'll get alpha square plus beta square is equal to b square by a square minus 2c by a. Now you see the LCM is actually a square, so I'm going to multiply and divide a to the second term. I'd get b square by a square minus 2ac divided by a square. Now since the denominators are equal, I can perform the operation on numerator. I'd get b square minus 2ac divided by a square. So I got my alpha square plus beta square. Now this I can mark it as 2. Now substitute 2 in 1. Substitute 2 in 1. So what was our 1? X1 plus x2 is equal to, see, this was my 1, alpha square plus beta square into 1 plus 1 by alpha beta, this square, just for alpha beta. Okay. So alpha square plus beta square, I got it as b square minus 2ac by a square, b square minus 2ac by a square into, and then 1 plus 1 by alpha beta is nothing but c by a. Okay, here alpha beta is nothing but c by a, so I get c by a whole square, c by a whole square. Now this is nothing but equal to b square minus 2ac divided by a square. Yeah, let me keep the brackets as it is. This would be nothing but 1 by c square by a square. Okay, there is a law which states that a by b whole power n is equal to a power n by b power n. So that is why c by a whole square is c square by a square. Now this is nothing but equal to b square minus 2ac by a square into 1 plus a square by c square. Okay, because you see this is 1 by c square by a square, so this would become a square by c square. Now if I'll take LCM here, here there's just c square, and here I have 1 by 1, so this would be nothing but equal to b square minus 2ac by a square into, here I'm going to multiply and divide by c square. Okay, so I'd get c square by c square plus a square by c square. Now since the denominators are equal, I can perform the operation on the numerator. Therefore x1 plus x2 would be nothing but, okay, fine, just this part I'll just fit it in here, because otherwise the flow would go. Okay, okay, fine, I'll take it to the other page only. X1 plus x2 would be nothing but equal to b square minus 2ac by a square into c square plus a square by c square. Now this is nothing but equal to b square minus 2ac into c square plus a square by a square c square. We got our x1 plus x2. Still x1, x2 is left out, okay? So stay with me. Now we need to find out x1 into x2. x1 into x2. See, x1 was alpha square plus beta square, and x2 was alpha square plus beta square divided by alpha beta square. Okay, yeah, you can just refer to the first page. Okay, we got x1 and x2. I'm just putting them down again. So this is nothing but equal to, if you will see, this is of the form a into a, which is a square. So this would be nothing but alpha square plus beta square whole square divided by alpha beta square. Now x1 into x2 is nothing but equal to, what is alpha square plus beta square? We got it here, right? 2. B square minus 2ac by a square. Observe carefully this step. B square minus 2ac by a square whole square. Okay, here we have alpha square plus beta square whole square. That's why, to this there is whole square, and divided by alpha beta whole square. So this would be nothing, alpha beta is c by a, so this would be nothing but c by a whole square. Now this is nothing but equal to b square minus 2ac whole square divided by a square whole square divided by c square by a square. Okay, why? Because again a by b whole power n is nothing but equal to a power n by b power n, or a by b whole power m is nothing but equal to a power m by b power m. Anything you can just put it. Now this is of the form, a by b by c by d. Okay, a by b by c by d. So this will be nothing but equal to a by b into d by c. Okay, a by b into d by c. So hence I would get here b square minus 2ac whole square divided by, now let's simplify a square whole square also. A square whole square is nothing but a power 4. Okay, why? Because a power m whole power n is nothing but equal to a power mn. So here I have a square whole square, so a power 2 into 2 is nothing but a power 4. Here I have a power 4 into, I told you, right, a by b by c by d is nothing but a by b into d by c. So I'd get into a square by c square. Now here I have a square, here I have a power 4. So hence, if I'll cancel, two a's, and here I'd cancel two a's, so I'd be left out with a square into c square here. So this is nothing but equal to b square minus 2ac whole square by c square into a square. Whew. Now we got x1 plus x2 and x1 into x2. I'm going to mark this as 3, and I'm going to mark this as 4. Okay, now I just need to substitute 3 and 4 in our basic equation. What was that? That was this x square minus x into x1 plus x2 plus x1 x2 is equal to 0. I'm going to write that one again. I get x square minus x into x1 plus x2 plus x1 into x2 is equal to 0. Put this, I'm going to mark it as 5 now. Put 3 and 4 in 5. So I'd get x square minus x into, what is x1 plus x2? B square minus 2ac into c square plus a square by a square c square. B square minus 2ac into c square plus a square by a square c square plus what did we get? X1 x2 x1 x2 we got b square minus 2ac whole square by c square a square b square minus 2ac whole square by c square a square is nothing but equal to 0. Now if you will observe here, I have denominator as c square a square into c square. Here also I have c square into a square. It's nothing but a square into c square. Here I do not have a square into c square. So I'm going to multiply and divide a square c square here. You can write like this. There's no problem. Fine. So now you see all the three of them have the same denominator. So in that case, I'd get a square c square x square minus x into b square minus 2ac into c square plus a square plus b square minus 2ac whole square whole divided by a square c square is equal to 0. Now if I'll send this a square into c square to the right side, 0 into a square c square, which should be nothing but 0. So hence a square c square x square minus x into b square minus 2ac into c square plus a square plus b square minus 2ac whole square is equal to 0. So that's it. This was a bit lengthy, but yeah, with practice you will feel it to be easy. Fine. So in case you like this video, please do give a thumbs up, and if this is your first time coming across my channel, please do subscribe to it. Thank you.